Hi, how's it going? My name is Stephen Killeen. I work with my wife Sarah, and we are the Mind Body Engine, and we're based in Galway, in the Republic of Ireland. And I just wanted to chat briefly about the work we've been doing with Sarah Smith as a Fit Pro mentor. So, outline where we were, or where I was, anyways, was because of COVID, our bricks and mortar gym, we had to close it down. We had a fairly busy gym. We had over 100 clients, and we were heavily based on classes, although we had an open gym as well. We did a lot of classes where I was probably averaging a 45 or 50 hour a week at the time. And when COVID came, we had to close down, obviously, and it was a stressful time, a worrying time. There was a lot of anxiety. Um, we managed to make one decision, that we decided to go online and start doing classes online. But the second decision we made was something that we were considering anyways. And my wife did it first. She did a couple of workshops with Sarah Smith. And from there, we decided to start working with her for just a couple of weeks. And it developed then into a year-long program. So we were in a place where we weren't too good. We were going to a major loss of income, obviously, because our gym was closed. But with working with Sarah, then from the online class, we started developing into our transformation coaching program, which has turned out to be very successful for us. And I'm going to elaborate on that now a little bit. So one of the things was, and Smith often said to me and would check in with me basically how I felt about it. We were decided to go from, I suppose, what you'd call low end, for want of a better word, doing PTs and classes, to high end, where we committed totally to our client. We only had a small number of clients, and we were going to cover everything, not from fitness, their nutrition, to their self-care, their mindset, their well-being, and of course keeping them accountable throughout. So how I feel about that now is, although nervous about it at the start, once I got over maybe the little imposter syndrome that I was suffering from, realised that I was more than qualified to do it, put the structures in place to do it with Sarah's guidance, and the next thing you know, we took off. We had a very strong start, in fact, and that has panned out at the moment. But we have a steady clientele stream at the moment, and I'm quite happy with where we're at. Although, there was great excitement at the start, I must say that having completed 7 or 8 months now, there's a nice steady flow of clients. We have a nice steady flow in each program. We have options to go, but ultimately I'm happy with our 5 pillars and how we deliver our product, for want of a better word. And when I think back to the work I was putting into maybe just getting 30 euro an hour for a PT, and trying to beat 10 people into a spinning class or a kettlebell class, and the work that was involved in preparation beforehand, during and afterwards, there's definitely as regards time and energy, I've definitely saved more. But at the same time, I'm giving more. It's way more productive, and it's a much more successful way of working with clients. How do I feel about social media at the moment? I'm reading off notes here. Just Sarah gave me a few pointers when I wanted to speak to you. Much better about it. I still make glitches now and again, but I'm not as afraid of it. I see it for what it is now. It's a fantastic aid to my work tool. But what I like about, and Sarah is constantly prompting us as regards, use it for work and be positive while you're on it, but know that there's times when you have to back away from it. It's an incredible tool, especially if you're working online, especially during COVID, to heighten your profile and to deliver your message, but to know how to use it in a constructive manner as well. And Sarah's been very helpful in that way. The biggest thing, the difference for me anyways, would be the help that I've got on the likes of branding and marketing, and on the content of what we deliver online. And Sarah's been very helpful there. We are being more accurate in what we want to say. We are not spoofing anymore. Our messages are much clearer, more positive, where we communicate much better with our clients. Our branding is pretty specific. I mean, you know what you're going to get when you decide to get it involved with us, but it's nice and clear and concise. I think we've got from the colouring and our title as the Mind Body Engine, to how we're perceived online, and the message that we bring, I'd be quite happy with it at the moment. marketing wise, Sarah has been very helpful in cutting through some of the unnecessary BS and some of the stuff that we were getting involved in, just to how at a low cost we can use social media, for example Facebook and Instagram, to our advantage. So I'm very thankful to her for that, because that's something that I didn't have a clue about myself, although Sarah would have known more because she was involved in sales before. My ideal client now, I'm kind of more aware of who that is. It's probably a guy, a lad between the ages of 30 and 60 years of age, which is a good bracket, but we're talking about men that are approaching in or the far side of middle age. That would be my niche. And that's something working with Sarah that I managed to nail down, because those are guys that I can relate to, because I'm one myself. And it doesn't matter whether the lad was involved in sport before or not. I've got something to offer him, and I can relate to what he's going through. And those are not simple points, but they're stuff that when working with Sarah I was able to nail down, and I've got a clear message for those guys now, and that has helped. Sales, not my strong point at all, and Sarah Smith has recognised that. I'm a bit of a one-trick pony as regards sales. I do like to think that I'm honest, and I will give it to you straight. And Sarah has worked with me on that, to deliver, one or two key points when I'm delivering a message of sales, to lay it out on the line, to show a bit of integrity, but also to know my worth. So I would say, being very nervous about being on sales calls before, that's not the case. Now, that might have happened purely because I'm doing it more often, but I do like to think that, when we stripped it back down, working with Sarah, I stripped it back down and just kept the message simple, and that definitely helped. What life is like now, look, I'm not as busy as I was, but that's actually a good thing. The income from having a bricks and mortar busy gym, okay, in one sense it's not as much. I've only got a handful of clients, but it's still, because I've decided to go high end and recognise my worth and deliver a more quality or premium product. I'm still making a decent income. On paper, it mightn't look as much as having 100 members. However, when you look at the fact that I've moved online and I don't have the other expenses that you have between salary, lease, etc., that you would have had with the gym, I'm actually doing okay. There's really no difference. I like the idea now that I've gone from sometimes having to work a 50-hour week to sometimes now it's a 25-hour week, or less even. I've got time now to prepare more for my clients. I've got time to research. I was able to go back to school and do online courses during COVID. So I've upped my skills as regards strength and conditioning and nutrition. And I wouldn't have had time to do that before. And I'm in a position now where I'm just excited about what the new year will bring. COVID is COVID. The fitness profession is what it is. It's very competitive, sometimes not all that positive. But at the same time, I between working closely with my own Sarah and then working with Sarah Smith, I've created a wee positive team there that I think is definitely has me in a better position mentally and physically to do what I do. And what I do is I try and help people lose weight, get fitter, and change their lifestyle, and to improve their overall well-being. And that's basically what's the result of working with Sarah Smith. I'm not going to say any more because that's about the size of it. To Sarah, I say thank you very much. I hope this video explains how it's been for me working with you. I've probably gone way over time. To those of you looking at it, you should work with Sarah. She's 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 militant. She is what she is, but she knows what she's talking about as well, and I appreciate all that she's done for us. Thank you for your time.